I would like to invite the audience to please rise for the presentation of colors by Paloma Valley High School Navy Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps from the Paris Union High School District. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Innovative Horizons Charter School student Rosemarie Hayner from the Paris Elementary School District, and the singing of the national anthem by Jocelyn Nicolau from La Quinta High School, Desert Sands Unified School District.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Let's give our students a big round of applause for honoring the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. You may take your seats. At this time, we are going to take this opportunity to honor two of our local heroes. In the past 3 months, 2 Riverside County Sheriff deputies lost their lives in the line of duty. And as educators, we believe that it is important that we recognize and honor our heroes this afternoon. In the field of education, we have a sincere reverence for law enforcement across our county. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department works diligently to protect our schools and students. We have numerous school resource officers across our county, and the Riverside County Sheriff's Department also works with our students by providing them with mentorship and ongoing guidance. And so at this time, I would like for Dr. Edwin Gomez and our partners from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to please come to the stage to honor Deputy Isaiah Cordero and Deputy Darnell Calhoun.
At this time, if we could please stand, and we're going to have a moment of silence for Deputy Cordero and Deputy Calhoun.
Thank you. At this time, you may be seated. At this time, we would like for Assistant Sheriff Ed Delgado to say a few words, please.
Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Gomez, and thank you, Riverside County Office of Education, for having us here today and honoring our deputies. It was a very difficult end of 2022 and an even more difficult beginning of 2023. So to have us here today, to be invited to share a moment of silence with our RCOE partners was very important to us and the sheriff. So on behalf of Sheriff Bianco and the entire Sheriff's Office, we agree that our relationship with the Riverside County Office of Education is a vital part of our community and to the students that we serve. I have known Dr. Gomez for a couple years and see how genuine and driven he is in making Riverside County a great place to live and go to school. We appreciate Dr. Gomez and the entire Riverside County Office of Education for taking time today to honor Deputies Isaiah Cordero and Darnell Calhoun that were killed in the line of duty. We have had an amazing outpour of support from our brave men and women, not just verbally, but through actions like today that truly exemplify the support we do have from our community and entities like the Riverside County Office of Education. So thank you, and we look forward to a long relationship and a continued relationship with our COE. Thank you.
And now we are going to invite Captain Michael Kohler to also share a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Kohler, and I'm the commander of the Jurupa Valley Station. Ultimately, I was Deputy Isaiah Cordero's captain at the time of his death. I'd certainly echo all of Assistant Sheriff Delgado's remarks, but I'd like to add something of a more personal note. The support here today is absolutely overwhelming. And ultimately, day to day, in my geographic area of responsibility, I have nearly 70 school sites, almost all of which are covered with school resource deputies and school resource officers through a partnership that we have with the Corona Police Department. The students in my area are represented by 3 individual school districts. And the support that we've experienced not only over the last several months, but just in our day-to-day interaction through the partnerships that we form with you as educators, administrators, the students on those campuses, and our involvement in their extracurricular activities, I'm confident that here in Riverside County, the bonds that exist between your public safety partners and each of your individual school sites are absolutely having an impact every day. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to represent Deputies Cordero and Calhoun, and I certainly appreciate all of your support. Thank you.
We have special proclamations honoring both Deputy Isaiah Cordero and Deputy Darnell Calhoun. The proclamations are in recognition of Deputy Cordero's and Deputy Calhoun's commitment and dedication to protect and serve the students, educators, and schools of Riverside County, and for their modeling of public service as an honorable career pathway worthy of emulating. We present these certificates of recognition and gratitude to the families of Riverside County Sheriff's Deputies Isaiah Cordero and Darnell Calhoun. Thank you for joining us here today to honor these very special heroes. It is truly a privilege to recognize them at our 2023 State of Education. Please join me in thanking them once again. I would also love to take a moment to introduce our dignitaries who are here with us today. From the Riverside County Board of Education, President Barbara Hale. Vice President Ray Coach Curtis. Trustee Jamie Apizia Sachs. Trustee Kim Cousins. Trustee Bruce Dennis. Trustee Ben Johnson II, and Trustee Elizabeth Romero. I would also like to invite members of Dr. Gomez's cabinet to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. We are fortunate to have many special guests in attendance. I will ask specific groups of elected officials, their representatives, and other community leaders to please stand as the various groups are announced. I invite members of our congressional delegation, either the U.S. House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate, to please stand. Representatives from the governor's office, would you please stand to be acknowledged? Would our state elected officials, state senators, assembly members, and others please rise? If you are a county supervisor or representing one, or a county superintendent, please stand to be recognized. We have several mayors and city council members joining us today. Please stand and be recognized. We would also like to acknowledge our school district board trustees and superintendents. Please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you to our higher education partners from our colleges, universities, and community colleges, and early education organizations. If you are here representing them, please rise. None of our work would be possible without the collaboration from our employee organizations. If you're a leadership member of any employee association, please stand. We are excited to welcome our 2023 Riverside County Educators of the Year. Please stand. Finally, I want to acknowledge the generosity of our sponsors. Please stand as your name is announced. Altura Credit Union, Erickson Hall Construction, Keenan and Associates, Schools First Federal Credit Union, Western Riverside Council of Government. A special thank you to Norco High School, Corona Unified School District, for providing the beautiful floral centerpieces for today's event. Now it is my sincere pleasure to introduce our County Superintendent, Dr. Edwin Gomez, who serves as the 13th Riverside County Superintendent of Schools. In his role, Dr. Gomez works with the county's 23 school districts to ensure high-quality education that invests in all students while developing and sustaining strong collaborative relationships with education stakeholders. He leads the 4th largest county office of education according to student enrollment preschool through 12th grade. Dr. Gomez began his educational career teaching in grades K through 8. He has served as a principal, chief academic officer, and district superintendent. Prior to his election as Riverside County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gomez served as the deputy superintendent. He earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in Organizational Studies from Pitzer College, his multiple subject teaching credential from the University of Redlands, and Masters of Arts and doctorate degrees from the California State University, San Bernardino. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Edwin Gomez, Riverside County Superintendent of Schools.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our State of Education. So wonderful to see all of you here in the beautiful city of Riverside. I want to say a big thank you to our teachers, our classified staff members that are here today, our elected officials, our deputies that are also in the midst of us, and our students that are here as well. Let's give them a big round of applause for the wonderful job that they do. Now, I think we can all agree that the most precious and important population in Riverside County is by far our students. There's no doubt in my mind that every student in our county has potential, they have gifts, they have callings, they have dreams, they have aspirations, and they have magic within them. I remember almost 26 years ago when I first started my career as a teacher, I would ask my students, what do you want to do when you grow up? And their faces would just light up and you would see this spark in their eyes and they would say, oh, Dr. Gomez, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a police officer, I'm going to be a rocket scientist. And they had this enthusiasm, they had this optimism and energy about them that was so very contagious. And the kids that I meet today, they're no different. They still have that same hope, that same desire for their lives, regardless of their circumstances. I have yet to meet a student that says, oh, Dr. Gomez, I'm going to be a failure, or I'm going to go in debt, or I'm going to have a horrible life. Kids don't say those things because their thinking is magical. They see their life from a perspective of hope and promise, especially in their younger years. They have this hopefulness about them that is so very infectious. I love these two quotes that I believe are relevant to our topic today. Roald Dahl said, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And Albert Einstein said, "There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." And I'm here to tell you today that our students still believe in magic. Many of our students see the miracles of life all around them because they are miracles. And I'm just very, very glad and fortunate that here in this county, we have phenomenal classified, we have phenomenal teachers, phenomenal management team members that believe the best in our students and work every single day to extrapolate the magic from our students. Yes, you can applaud for that one. And with that said, I also believe that it's our collective responsibility as a community to equip our students with the skills that they need so that they can fulfill their dreams and become magical human beings. And by the way, I define magical not in the dark or ominous way, the spooky kind of way. I define magical as extraordinary, amazing, astonishing, and sensational human beings. And this is where the theme of Pathways of Promise comes to fruition. In order for students to achieve their fullest potential, we must provide them with pathways to accomplish these goals. We want our students to have pathways to future careers. We want them to have pathways to financial freedom. And we want them to have pathways to become responsible and productive members of our community. How many people believe that today? Now, I think we can all agree that this promise can look different for all students because not every student is the same. Whether they're pursuing higher education, entering the workforce, serving in the military, or starting their own business, our students have viable options in our county. And I believe, by the way, there's many school districts represented here this afternoon. They're doing a tremendous job helping students find the pathway that works best for them. Now, I believe we're already on the right pathway here in Riverside County. Out of the largest counties in the state, Riverside County has the second best graduation rate in the entire state of California, which I think is pretty amazing. After last week's FAFSA deadline, 1,000 more students from the class of 2023 applied for financial aid than the class of 2022, and I'm proud to say that we have the highest number of foster youth graduating in the state. Yes, that's wonderful. And finally, we continue to attract millions of dollars with state and federal grants to provide resources for our students with the greatest needs. And so once again, let's give our educators a big round of applause for creating Pathways of Promise for our students. Now, the promise of a world-class education is alive and well in Riverside County. And for the purposes of today's meeting, this will be a very short presentation. We're going to take a look at how our educational system is empowering our students. So we're going to begin by discussing our Literacy by Fifth Grade initiative. Last year, 27,000 children were born in Riverside County, and that's a lot of kids if you ask me. And what we know is that reading is critical to the overall well-being of our youngsters. The research shows that students have a better chance at being successful the sooner that they're able to read. And on the flip side of that, the research shows that if some of those 27,000 babies that were born last year, if they don't become confident readers by the time that they reach middle school, they will most likely struggle in high school. Now, I don't like to talk doom and gloom, so I will say it this way. Children who are able to read at proficient levels, they will have a better chance of being employed, they will have a lower risk of incarceration, and they will have financial stability. Unfortunately, if they're not proficient readers, the opposite of this list is probably true. The likelihood of being unemployed is greater, they will have a higher risk of incarceration, and they will struggle financially. And so it's very, very important that our students learn to read and write as soon as possible. So just a quick little sidebar. The teaching of reading and writing to youngsters is not an easy task, and I'm sure if you ask some of our teachers that are here this afternoon, they will share with you some of the war stories that they've had in teaching our kids how to read and write. But anyways, I believe it takes a lot of perseverance to get our kids, to get them proficient, to get them on task. But a few years ago, I remember that I was a principal at an elementary school site, and I was called to one of the classrooms because we had a youngster that was being kind of disruptive. He was having an attitude with the substitute teacher. He wasn't happy. And so I go to the classroom, and I see little Pedro, and he's got his arms crossed like this, and little Pedro looks like he was chewing on some lemons, and he just didn't look very happy. And so I go up to Pedro, and I say, Pedro, what's going on? What are you supposed to be doing? And he shakes his head, and he says, Dr. Gomez, I'm just not happy. We're supposed to be doing some dumb writing assignment. I just don't like it. And so I ask him, so Pedro, why aren't you writing? And mind you, he's a first grader. And he says, well, Dr. Gomez, I don't know how to write. And so I say, Pedro, you got to show me how you're writing. I need you to try. And so he grabs a pencil, and he grabs his pencil with his entire hand, and Pedro begins to write like big circles and some weird, funky animals. It doesn't look like any kind of legible writing. And so I say, Pedro, that's not the way you write. Try grabbing your pencil with your thumb and with your index finger and try to focus and try to really concentrate. And so me and Pedro, we go back and forth, and finally he just kind of stomps his hand and says, Dr. Gomez, I can't write. And I say, Pedro, why can't you write? And he says with these beautiful eyes and the innocence of him, he says, Dr. Gomez, my fingers are just too fat. They're just too fat, Dr. Gomez. And so I had to chuckle a little bit, and I said, Pedro, you know what? You can do this. With some encouragement, with some support, you can do this. You're going to be able to read and write. And so after a few meetings, notice I said meetings and not beatings. Meetings. We had meetings. We worked with Pedro to really build his strength, his dexterity, and his fingers by using Play-Doh. His teacher was just wonderful with encouraging him. And in a matter of days, Pedro was actually writing, and he did a phenomenal job. But I think the point is we have amazing teachers that work day in and day out to teach our students how to read and write. So let's give them a big round of applause. Now, when it comes to our youngest readers, we know that parents hold the keys to the promise of literacy. That's why more than 14,000 books have made their way into homes all across Riverside County. All of the books that were selected integrate subjects like math, science, and the arts, and parents were given access to high-quality videos in English and in Spanish. Also, we worked with the District Literacy Network to leverage sustainable change in the instruction of reading. This literacy roadmap was established to bring awareness to strategies that improve the teaching of reading and writing, and all in all, we're glad that the roadmap, as well as the workshops, have been instrumental in spreading a love for reading and bringing books to life. In addition to the professional development for educators, we also implemented the Footsteps to Brilliance program. This is an amazing program that's free, it's available on all types of devices, and it provides access to the building blocks of reading in both English and in Spanish. More than 132,000 students have already read 202 million words by reading 410,000 books. And furthermore, students have written, like Pedro, more than 282,000 books on their own, which is pretty incredible. Any students, whether they're in public, private, charter, or even homeschools, have access to the Footsteps to Brilliance program. Next, we're also excited about the Little Free Library Book Drive. This project places wooden structures all over residential areas and serves as a mini library that gives people access to books at any time, and we're very happy about that. And finally, we invited students to tell us about why they love reading. And so we asked some of our youngest students to share their favorite books with us. So let's hear what students from the Alvord and Moreno Valley Unified School District have to say.
Why I like reading is because it helps your brain. It makes you think more about more details of the stuff in the story, and it helps you learn.
I love this book because it has shown me any way you look is beautiful. I like reading because it is fun and it helps your brain grow.
Hi, my name is Jaime. I am 8 years old. I'm in the 2nd grade. Reading is something that kids need to learn. Some kids don't know how to read, and probably they'll need this book to read to get their level up.
I love reading because it helps me how to read. I tell my teacher to help me with some of the words because sometimes I have trouble reading the words. And then now I'm good at reading, but sometimes I still have some words that I'm having trouble with. But I still learned how to read. So, yeah.
I love reading because it's my favorite thing to do in school, and I feel like if I don't read at all, I won't learn anything in life. If I feel like I actually have friends in the story, and it inspires me.
Mi nombre es Kenna, tengo 6 años, estoy en primer grado. Mi libro favorito es Aida Hug, because I like hugging.
Always beautiful to see our amazing students have a passion for reading. Folks, as you can see, reading is a powerful foundation that forms the pathways to success for all students in our county. With every turn of the page, a new world of opportunity awaits students to discover a brighter future. Thanks to all of you for making this happen. Moving on to the next initiative, the mental health of our students has become critically important. In the last couple of years, I have met many students who are struggling with anxiety, with depression, and fear. This is a very real phenomenon that has just really become a pandemic across our nation. Our students need support, they need encouragement, and they need guidance. And though it's been more than a year since students have returned to in-person schooling, students are still dealing with the side effects of being isolated for almost 2 years during the pandemic. As a matter of fact, my own children who attend public schools here in Riverside County, they had to work hard at adjusting to new friends. They are still learning to cope with life post-COVID, and they still have to deal with the pressures of the high school experience, just like the thousands of students across our county. And so I appreciate what Aristotle said. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. And this is a powerful statement that speaks to the importance of a holistic education. And so here are a few things that we're doing as part of the Mental Health Initiative. In the last 2 years, we've opened care spaces that offer free mental health services to students and members of the community. We've expanded to 11 locations, and more than 3,000 students have already been served. A few months ago, we partnered with Animal Services to launch Lucky Paws, a program that connects families with a pet. And when it comes to focusing on the mental health of our community, we have partners all across the county that are helping us to extend our reach. For example, the State's Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative is a 5-year, $4.4 billion vision that will reimagine the systems that support the behavioral health needs of all children in California. Part of the initiative is the Student Behavioral Incentive Program that will work to immediately address the mental health needs of about 124,000 students, and I think that's pretty incredible. So let's give them a big round of applause for that. Another boost to these efforts was through the support of Congressman Mark Takano, as we were able to procure a $15.6 million grant to enhance school-based mental health services. This program will initially serve students in 3 districts, and other districts will be added over the 5-year span of the grant. Now, as I'm closing the highlights of this initiative, I do want to mention that we are supporting the launch of the 988 Suicide Prevention Hotline. We're also working to educate the community to inform them of the dangers of fentanyl and drug abuse, and we are providing countless hours of professional development for all educators to support the mental health of our students in our schools. And so in a very, very short time, I'm proud to say that through our collective efforts of every single one of you, we've come to a place where all students have a sustainable pathway to mental health supports, and this initiative has impacted thousands of students in a positive way across Riverside County. The next initiative that we will discuss today is financial literacy, and I believe we have a moral obligation to provide students with an education that can help them to become financially free as well as prosperous. There is a new statewide program known as CalKids, and the intent of the program is to ensure that any eligible student currently in our schools will receive a $500 deposit in a CalKids account, and these funds will provide a jump start on savings for college or career training. In Riverside County, we have started the process of spreading this message, and so let's take a look at what took place at a recent event in Desert Hot Springs.
The CalKids program is an amazing opportunity to start seed money for students and their families to go ahead and start planning and investing in their education for the future.
The CalKids program informs families that there is money available for them for college.
Today, I signed up my son, and now he's eligible to secure a future for college. So I'm happy. I can't wait to give him the news.
I had about 5 or 6 parents come back, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is for real.
A lot of them don't know the benefits of going to college, and I was actually just telling my kids, it took me twice as long to get to where I am without a degree.
What excites me is that I get to start off with something when I go to college, and I can save up to get to a good college so I can get a good degree and get a good job.
I'm just really excited that I can be able to help families to create a login, and so that they see that there is something there for them, some money there for them.
I think the students see that, wow, $500 is a lot of money, and when you explain that it's an investment in their future, I think they take school a lot more seriously.
Pues me siento contenta, por eso pues yo digo que es bueno venir a estos programas porque uno se da cuenta de toda la ayuda que hay para los estudiantes y pues para nosotros también como padres.
I'm gonna put it to my college because I'm gonna take engineering classes.
Just hearing about all of this information today is actually teaching me and allowing me to go back to my district and inform them and inform the families, most importantly, that there is money available.
Outstanding, wonderful to hear this great program. Now we're going to share with you a story about a student who has learned the basics of financial literacy. In the Coachella Valley, we have a migrant education program that connects students with paid internships in local businesses and city offices. Each week, the interns gather at our Indio office to receive additional learning opportunities. At this time, we're going to listen to Dulce Lucero, an alumnus of this program, who will describe how financial literacy has made a big difference in her life.
I talked to my counselor about any opportunities that would be able to develop me professionally, and he introduced me to the Migrant Career Academy program. I am now an alumni, and I've returned today to talk to them, and it's been very rewarding. I would go back to my high school self and tell myself, like, keep going. Keep going. It feels hard, and you cry sometimes, but you keep going. My high school self, I would tell her, make sure you ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. When I first started the internship program, it was very intimidating. I got placed at the supervisor, Manuel Perez 4th District Supervisor's office, and I've been able to grow from there. They've helped me, they've been my mentors, they've offered me jobs, and they actually got me my current position. During my internship, I was able to gain some very valuable skills. I was able to learn how to conduct myself in the workplace. I was able to grow the confidence that I needed to come into spaces and make myself feel like I belong there. It was hard to show up on my Fridays during summer at 8 in the morning. We had workshops on our personal statements, on our responses for the college application, on FAFSA, financial literacy, how to budget. It definitely did walk me through the process of applying to college and having those skills to be confident enough to go. I graduated UCLA. I am really happy to say that I graduated debt-free, and that was because of the skills that I learned during my time in the academy. And because of my experience in the Career Academy, I was able to realize that I want to come back and serve my community. For a community that is underserved and always disadvantaged, having those resources for them gives them the opportunity to keep going. I am an example that this program has helped me, and it has taken me miles.
What a powerful and inspirational message from Dulce. Just amazing. If you heard correctly, she said that she is 100% debt-free after going to UCLA. I think that's amazing. Folks, there are thousands of students like Dulce Lucero who are making wise decisions to be debt-free, to live within their means, and to invest their money in prudent investments. They are changing the narrative of generational poverty because, as we know, for some students, the lack of knowledge on this topic continues from one generation to the next, and it prevents them from applying to college or pursuing their dreams simply because they assume that it's way beyond their reach. So by learning the basics of financial literacy and by receiving guidance from our college and career readiness team, our students are going from generational poverty to generational wealth, and we're grateful for our CalSO program that coaches and supports our high school students by guiding them with a college application process and by helping them formulate their post-secondary goals. So to summarize this initiative, we want our students to be financially literate, especially when they're making these big decisions in their lives, whether it's buying a car or putting a down payment for a house, or when they might take out a college loan, we believe our students should have the knowledge and tools to secure a future of prosperity. We believe that our students can be and will be the next generation of multimillionaires, and we envision the Inland Empire to be a flourishing region of innovation and wealth. Now, all 23 school districts in Riverside County have focused on creating a more inclusive and welcoming experience for all of our students. We want to take students from wherever they are to a place where their potential is acknowledged and maximized. So here's what's happening across the county with the Equity and Inclusive Practices Initiative. This fall, nearly 1,000 educators from across the state gathered at the annual Excellence Through Equity Conference to sharpen their focus on equitable systems and practices. After the conference, our team has been active in providing one-on-one coaching with the participants and by supporting their equity champions to maintain their momentum. During the conference, we asked students and participants to describe what equity looks like to them, so let's hear what they had to say.
Inclusion on our campus looks like our unified sports teams that we have, where it's 50% special needs students and 50% typical peers, and they come together to play different sports like
Flag football.
And what else?
Soccer.
And what else do we do together?
Play games.
Yeah, we play lots of games together. It's really fun.
That for me means inclusive, whether it be from educators or even the public themselves that are able to understand who an individual truly is and are able to know what their needs are and are able to include them and accommodate them so they can just be treated as who they are, a human.
Well, being included, it doesn't make me feel, I feel like I'm actually being treated as an equal. I don't feel like an outcast.
Each student should get the same opportunity and same help from their teachers and counselors, no matter their race. You don't have to be Asian or Hispanic or Black to get the help you need.
So what that looks like to me is when my teacher was allowing me to sit closer to where she was speaking, so that way I could better understand, because for me, for what I need, is I need to sit closer so that way there are no distractions.
Personally, me and my partner here, we're in robotics together, and he's doing the video game club at school. It's awesome. It's such a great time. They're always with us. They're always included.
Where people take the time to make sure that everybody gets to the same point with help or with no help. Some people don't need help, some people do. Like with mental help, some people need breaks when they get overwhelmed. I've seen that in my classroom.
Being in like a Special Olympics makes me unified, yeah. Being in that makes me feel like I am an equal. I'm an equal to everyone. And I'm not an outcast.
The Excellence Through Equity Conference will celebrate its 10th year anniversary this September, so please save the date and join us for what is our largest conference every year. As it is for many topics in education, sometimes showing can be more effective than telling, so let me give you some examples of what equity looks like. In August, we held a community resource fair for foster and homeless youth. At the event, students received school supplies, shoes, haircuts, vision, and dental screenings. In December, we held the second annual Winter Wonderland event for foster and homeless youth. They enjoyed everything from ice skating and sledding to art activities and a free gift for every child. And last fall, we hosted the first Riverside County Lego Fun Fair event. Students from local schools joined special education students on building Legos and engaged in friendly esports competition. The feedback that we received was very positive, and because of that, this event will also be offered in the Coachella Valley in the very near future. And finally, I want to share a vivid example of what equity looks like. As many of you know, every school district in Riverside County is required to submit plans that explain what they're going to do to ensure student success. Providing equitable learning environments is just one aspect of these plans called Local Control and Accountability Plans, otherwise known as LCAPs. Please join me as we see how one school district took a reflective approach to their work to best serve their growing population of foster students.
In 2017-18, Lake Elsinore Unified, we were designated for differentiated assistance with specifically our foster youth student population in the areas of math, language arts, and also suspension.
Many of our principals knew who their foster youth were, but we didn't necessarily have a great monitoring system.
Bottom line was additional staff. We're going to hire a foster youth social worker.
I specialize in child welfare and also in school social work. I'm working at the district level, so I have an administrative role where I'm helping schools identify their foster youth, identify needs, but I also get to work with the kids, which is really important. With the county, I was case managing students in the foster care system, dealing with the courts, and I noticed a lot of barriers between the county and education. We didn't know much about the education laws or things that students are dealing with. Children who are in the foster care system need extra support in school because of what they're dealing with. They're moving from home to home, changing schools all the time. Some teachers may not know that they have a foster child in their classroom, that they were just removed last night, had to grab one pair of clothing, put in a police car, and then was expected to come to school the next day.
We now have 5 social workers in our school district who could partner with our program specialist with interns.
My time as an intern at LUSD was really motivational, getting a chance to see so many kids succeed and grow, and that really inspired me to continue.
Every foster youth in the district has an intern assigned to them, not only to do check-ins, but to monitor their grades, their attendance, work with the foster families and the social workers, so everybody has eyes on these students.
When I was their age, I didn't have any kind of mental health supports, and so I wanted to be that when I grew up. So I come in trying to relate to them and trying to let them understand that they are in a safe space with me and that they're not going to be judged.
The students don't have an advocate for them, and I think it's really important for the school systems to have an extra person who is supporting these students and understanding what it's like to be in the foster care system and what additional barriers they come with.
We have more students in foster care than we've ever had at one time, and kids in foster care are not just like every other student, and oftentimes they fall through the cracks in the home that they live in. They don't need to fall through the cracks at the school that they attend.
Let's give our educators from Lake Elsinore a big round of applause. Lake Elsinore, where are you? There you are. Let's give them a big round of applause. Great job. Great job. Fantastic. Friends, in each of these examples, I hope you were able to see the importance of looking at the world through the eyes of another person. I would say that there's power and teamwork to face challenging situations, and I believe that we have a responsibility to ensure that every student is seen, heard, and supported. And in Riverside County, we uphold the belief that everyone deserves an equitable pathway to success. At this time, we hope that everyone agrees that to some extent we've made progress with our students to be healthy individuals, confident readers, inclusive-minded leaders, and financially free young adults. But even with the progress made in all of these areas, some students still have the same questions that my kindergarten students had many years ago. What do I want to do with my life? Do I still believe in the power of magic? And can I still see the miracles of life all around us? And this is where the voices of wise mentors and experienced educators open doors to pathways of promise. Students in classrooms today are counting on all of us to teach them skills that will be relevant to their future, and I believe that our career and technical education programs deliver on that promise. We have incredible CTE programs across our county that are preparing students with opportunities to make a difference in their communities and to do so with livable wages and benefits. So let's take a look at some innovative programs in 3 high schools from the Coachella Valley, from Jurupa, and Murrieta Valley Unified School Districts.
The classes in specific that we have here at Desert Mirage and aviation for sure
are geared towards local economic needs, right? And so the flexibility there allows, and having CTE classes allows all of that kind of come together.
And this program was started in 2019 with Myriad of Fire and Rescue, and since then we've added a few years onto our program, including the intro to fire science, the fire prevention side of it, firefighter safety survival.
The Student Tech Crew empowered our students to develop their student agency and their student voice while they're developing their skills to get those industry level certifications.
The kids are getting a certification that is industry known. So they're walking out of here with something that they can actually get a job with.
So the first time I walked into the aviation class, it was something new, something I was never used to, never been introduced here in the Eastern Coachella Valley.
They all enjoy their time in class, but when I have a couple students that actually take what they've learned and then they're inspired to expand.
From aircraft detailing, aircraft painting, you can do everything. If you like art, paint an aircraft. If you want to work on mechanics, work on an aircraft. It's for everybody, even if you don't think so.
When I first walked into the classroom, I remember I was really nervous. I was like, they're probably gonna be like hard on me. And I feel like I was able to become one of the people who I admired to be. When I first joined, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like down here and everyone's gonna be up here. And it found out that we were all here and we are a family and we're together.
The first time I entered, I didn't know what to expect, so I was kind of scared, but excited at the same time.
I was told that we would take a certification, and that would be the first semester, and then the second semester, we would actually get hands on the computers and then actually start fixing them.
After we've passed the certification, we'll do a example repair, and I'll start going through with them how we diagnose things and teach them the whole process.
When I hear about students that have gotten jobs in the industry, it gives me a sense of pride that I can work with the students and help them kind of understand what they can do.
Carl Moorhead, he was a really great teacher. He's a pilot. If I had any questions, he would know how to answer them to me. He has really great connections. Everybody knows him. He would bring us out to the thermal airport. He knew everybody pretty much, so he was a really great instructor.
Phenomenal programs. It's amazing to know that we have nearly 60 career pathways that are available to students throughout Riverside County. As you saw, we have pathways in aviation and fire science and in other new economy career fields that are being taught in our schools right now. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we stay committed to the promise to our community to provide viable pathways that will continue to evolve and meet the workforce demands in our region. Now, as we're concluding our State of Education this afternoon, I think it's pretty clear that the educators across our county are focused on one thing, and that is supporting our amazing students in our region. And I would like to point out that this region is expected to grow to more than 5 million people in the next 25 years. The 430,000 students in our classrooms today will be the ones that will drive that future growth. They will drive the economy. They will create change and opportunities. They will set the political and social climate of the day, and the essence of our democracy will hinge on their leadership and participation. There is no doubt in my mind that our future leaders will face challenges, they will face heartaches and disappointments, but we believe that our future leaders are resilient. We believe that they're hopeful, we believe that they're dreamers, we know that they're magical, and they will overcome those obstacles by the things that they're learning today. And this is why your investment in the future prosperity of Riverside County is so very important. Our students will become what we invest in them right now, and they will rise to the expectations that we set forth in them at this moment. And so with that, the pathway of education to a brighter future is alive and well in Riverside County. We want to thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much.